action. And welcome back to the very special Careful Boys, where we are indeed very careful boys, and we are currently off the record. And today we are talking about, do you guys remember the first time that you used a swear word?
Nope. But I do remember loving to say words I'm not supposed to. My mom has a tape recording of me for about 40 minutes straight singing about poop, pee, poop, caca, vomit, fart, whatever as a kid. And that was the best shit ever.
So that's exactly what this prompt is about? So you do remember.
Yeah. Because I thought bad word were like the actual ones. Because you know, like the kids like, hey, you pee-pee head.
Yeah, exactly.
I fucking said pee-pee head.
Yeah. When were you saying some shit that you knew, like you? Shit, this is gonna be fucking crazy if I say it around my folks. I gotta be careful here.
You know what though? I never got in trouble for saying it.
Okay.
Even if they heard you?
I mean, she kept the tape. She thought it was hilarious.
Oh.
Like a lot of the stuff that I was not supposed to do outside, somehow she found a way to like teach me. It didn't work, but she taught me that it was wrong, and I knew it was wrong. But I didn't do it.
Who taught you the words period? Like, who taught you them at all?
Period. Somewhere from school, from friends. You don't know what they meant, but you knew it was bad, and you used it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna open the prompt up too to racial epithets so Anthony can jump in.
I remember my first racial epithet. No, I'm just kidding. No. I remember my first time I was talking some shit. I got in trouble. I was in 2nd grade. And I remember I heard a kid say, "Suck my dick," right?
Oh, yeah.
In 2nd grade?
2nd grade.
Shit.
Wow.
And
That's advanced.
That's really advanced.
and then he was doing this. He was doing that.
Do you think his parents are like, he's so advanced, he's already doing sucker, he's doing the DX.
Yeah. And then I just started copying them. I remember people started laughing, so I just kept doing it. And at the time, I remember the fact that I remember this is pretty interesting. I remember I had a fruit roll up that I let hang all the way down. And it was like really long, and it was like out of my mouth, and I just kept doing it.
It's pretty good though. And I remember it was Mrs. Underwood's class in 2nd grade. And then I was making too much of a scene, and then someone told on me. And then
Didn't take long, I bet.
no, it didn't. And then my guidance counselor, Mr. Smith, he nabbed me and he had a talk with me and said, "Hey, you can't be using this kind of language. Like, where did you learn this from?" And I was like, "I heard Michael say it, blah, 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 blah." And then I just was, ever since then, I just had a little potty mouth, dude. And I just was like, sucking my dick. And I was doing that. I remember I had a fruit roll up. Huh?
Do you know what that meant?
Did you know what that meant?
I assume,
You know to this day what...
Nope. I have no idea. I was hoping you guys would tell me.
Wow.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
I was hoping to have my first experience.
Yeah.
So they told you just not to say it, but you didn't actually get in trouble, huh?
No, well, I think my mom had to come pick me up or something.
Oh, damn. That is trouble.
That's trouble.
I got in trouble for that.
Oh, dude.
But it was more kind of like, what were you doing? Like, where'd you learn that from? Like,
Right, it's kind of innocent, though.
yeah, it was just like, they didn't really get that mad at me. And it wasn't until I was in like 4th or 5th grade where I got like really in trouble.
There.
Dude, at least that wasn't your stepmom, because she probably would have tried to show you.
Oh, jeez. That's already that kind of...
Sick. 2nd grade.
That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes.
Sick pup.
That's just the real world.
There was the first time I saw a cuss word at all or learned about one, I remember now. It was our neighbor when this was like 1989, and in Downey it was still a lot of like white people that lived there, and then we had this white family next to us, and they had like a teenage dude that was like, you know, like a bad white kid. And he used to pick up the dog shit in his yard and toss it over the wall. So we would have all this random dog shit in our yard.
That's where you learned the dog shit trick, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
That was the evolution.
Yeah. He so then I remember my dad went over there and he told his mom that like, "Oh, your son's been like throwing dog shit over the wall. Like, tell him to stop doing that." And she was like, "Okay, that's fine." And then like later on that day, we went out of the house to go to the car because we were going somewhere, and they had taken like chalk and they wrote a giant "fuck you" on the street in the direction of our house.
What?
Yeah.
They did it toward you too?
Yeah.
And then continued throwing dog shit.
They never stopped. Yeah, I remember my parents like saying like, "Oh," like me and my sister read it out loud. We were like, "Fuck you, what's that?" And then my dad and my mom were like, "Oh, that's something you should never say." And then that's where like literally like I learned, oh, that's the worst thing you can say to someone. Yeah. And then my
I
dad
didn't know what fucking was.
No, I didn't know what it was.
Me neither.
I just remember my dad said that like, oh, they're really bad and they're bullying us, so never use that to someone else.
I feel like kids used all those words and didn't know what they meant.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't learn for a long time what that meant. I just knew it was like bad.
It's a very powerful word.
Yeah. They moved away though. And they left their cats and they all died.
Oh, goodness.
They abandoned like a ton of cats. There was like a bunch of cats in the neighborhood and they all like just like died. They were all sick.
They're dog people.
So they're so fucked up.
Wow, that's
Wow. They became murderers later.
They could have.
Was it like a hoarder house with cars parked on their lawn?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Downey had a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
A lot of like.
Junkyard peoples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a nice city, and then like white flight happened, and everyone was Mexican and Asian in the neighborhood now.
White flight happened.
So I vividly remember the two instances. One I've already shared on here before. I'll share it again. I got in trouble both times. I don't remember exactly where I learned it. I was at my grandpa's funeral in Hawaii, somewhere like 1996 or something like that. And I somehow learned the term fucking bitch.
It's a good one.
Somehow. I don't know.
It's a good one.
But you know when you learn it, in your mind as a kid, you're like, when do I get to use it though? You know what I'm saying? You know not to, but you're just like,
Fingers on the trigger, dude.
Yeah.
That's a
all
good
my,
one, man.
All my cousins, right? We're like upstairs in like my grandpa's old apartment. And then all my cousins like start tickling me and stuff, and they like hold me down. You know when like fucking different cousins are like holding you down and stuff, and they're like tickling you, you have nowhere to go. So then I remember just like kicking and flailing, and then I was like, "You fucking bitch!" And everybody let go at the same. I was a kid. Everybody let go at the same time. Like,
You guys are the same age?
Yikes.
basically the same age. A lot.
Big move, dude.
And then immediately one of my cousins, she like just runs downstairs. She is a fucking bitch. Now anyway.
What a narc.
Yeah, runs downstairs, like, ooh, ma, you know, like tells on me and shit like that.
Oh, he got told on? Dang.
And then straight up from there,
had too many rats
and
in your family.
Yeah, my dad is like the most physically like fuck you up out of all the aunties and uncles anyway. So I was in for it. And they literally did all that shit that you see in like fucking Christmas Story and shit. They took me into the restroom. They were slapping me up and took a bar of soap, shoved it in my mouth.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
not.
Well, I mean, I probably deserved it.
Were you like this with the bar of soap?
That's cultural appropriation.
Yeah. Do you have a dub bar in there?
Yes.
That's not a Vietnamese style.
And you can see, and it's funny because there's evidence of this, you could see in the giant family photo that happened right after it, all the aunties, uncles, and cousins, and I'm the only one who's fully like crying and shit.
Bro, you gotta get that picture.
Did they caption it fucking bitch?
Yo, that's so true. Like back in the day, it's like you get your ass handed to you and you're crying and the show goes on. Like everyone's still like.
They let it go. They
I have a
don't give
lot of
fuck.
those where I'm crying
Yeah.
in the group picture.
I remember every single party, someone was getting fucking spanked or in trouble.
It has to happen.
And then the second one, I mentioned this story before, but it's a good lesson for all the children out there. I learned, again, I heard the term stupid gaff it, but not gaff it, right? Mm-hmm. And then I didn't know, you know, like when I was gonna use it or anything like that. And I just remember,
Pocket.
I was in like 3rd or 4th grade or something like that. We're playing during recess, and remember when the school bell rings, everybody's supposed to freeze, right? Right when I was about to use this term, I used this term. I was like, somebody said something. I don't remember what they said. Maybe they called me like whatever. And then I was like, well, you're stupid. And I said it, and the bell rang, so I froze. And then the guy's looking at me, he's a little black kid, and he's like, what'd you say? Right? And he starts walking towards me, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you
Can't move. You can't move.
freeze. Yeah. And I just didn't do anything because I was like, I'm following the rules. I gotta freeze. He came over and he fucking threw me down on the floor. And I was all crying as a kid and stuff like
What?
And he didn't get in trouble because none of the fucking safeties were doing their patrolling job the right way.
Shit, it's mine. It's on me.
You got a free
I was
one,
getting
man.
accused at some.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
I was getting accused of sexual.
I remembered after that, I was like, I probably shouldn't throw that term around.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that he got that mad.
Well, I mean, I probably shouldn't be calling somebody a stupid gaffet, you know what I mean?
But I remember in the early days of cuss words, no one was
Now
taking
standard
it personal
practice.
because everyone's practicing using them all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody called each other gay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it meant a homosexual relationship.
I hope at some point I actually called a gay guy gay. I doubt it did.
I didn't even know that.
We just thought it meant like stupid back in the day.
I just thought it meant girly.
I definitely got called gay infinitely more
Yeah, I
times.
was called gay all the time. And then later on, you learn what the real meaning is, and you're like, whoa, I didn't know boys kiss boys like
We
that.
learned in like 6th grade science class, we learned gay, like in actual class. And as soon as like everyone learned what it was, they all pointed at me.
Every single one of them.
That's savage.
Traumatizing.
That is savage.
And then
Teacher, is Ryan gay then?
it's funny because like
It's also a good idea.
because everyone's like,
It's good groupthink.
Why did they all think you were gay? Were you flamboyant? Today's video is brought to you by Warby Parker. Okay, so sometimes you're on a website looking and shopping for eyewear, and you're like, man, this stuff looks so cool, but I don't know if it's gonna look good on me, so pass. How many of you guys do that at home? Because for me, there's been so many times when I've bought glasses, it came in, and I'm looking at it, I put it on, and for some reason, it just does not fit. But thank goodness we got Warby Parker, baby.
Yeah, because they got the home try-on kit where you can pick 5 of the glasses, you can try it on, and then you can send back the ones that you don't want. And what I like about Warby Parker is sometimes a lot of times you're buying stuff for a special event. Someone's wedding, you're gonna go over here, and it's too late if you get the glasses and it doesn't fit your outfit or your needs.
Oh yeah.
So with Warby Parker, you can do that with sunglasses, eyeglasses. They got all kinds, even contact lenses for eye care kit, and they even have in-person retail stores too.
All right.
So like I was saying, Warby Parker offers you everything you need for happier eyes. Eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and even eye exams. And you can shop with them online or in stores too. And glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. So try the Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try on at home for free. There's no obligation to buy, ships free, and even includes a prepaid shipping label. So try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/offtherecord.
no, it's just like, it was just fun to roast each other, and they just got me that day. It's just literally what you do is you're like, oh, that's what that means? So then that makes Ryan. Like, I was like, I got me.
Association at that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember a lot of kids used words that they didn't know what it was. Like I remember one time these kids were like play fighting, right? And then they're like, hey, you're a molester. And I'm like, what's a molester?
Those are pretty funny, man. Dude.
And then he goes, oh, he's a big kid. And then if a big adult or kid is beating you up, that's a molester. So then I was like, oh. He goes, yeah, someone who beats up kids is a molester, right? So I was playing with my cousin. And my cousin at the time, he's like 15 years older than me, right? So we're like fucking wrestling and all that stuff, and then he gets me down, and I'm all like, molester.
Oh, gee.
And then he was like, holy shit. Dude, it works.
That's scary, dude.
Oh yeah.
No
and
way.
Then the whole family was like, what the fuck? And then they're like, and then I was like, I got up and I'm like, molester, like that, right? You beat up kids. And he goes, that's not what it means. And then he was so scared. And I was like, did I do something wrong? And then he's like, no, that means they touch your privates and stuff like that. And then
And you're like, oh, he just fucked my face. And like, that's like when he's messing with your head, right?
Dude, calling people molesters underrated.
Dude.
That's underrated.
Really good.
But if you're a kid and you don't know the gravity of that, you're just tossing around.
Nah,
That's
dude.
messy.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not gonna play with you anymore if you say that.
Molester.
Hearing a little kid call someone a molester. It's
No, that's crazy.
Can you imagine? You're like playing with your little nephew, fucking wrestling him around and shit. And he goes, hey, molester. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
You drop a kid.
Wild, yeah, dude.
Yeah, no thank you.
Right?
Oh, dude.
Can't be
that's-
messing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I used a lot of words like that. Dude, so I didn't really know what the N-word was because I heard it in rap. I heard it and everyone at school called each other that.
Which N-word?
Which one?
Nipples.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, true.
No, but like all the way up until, I don't know, like 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, Asian kids, black kids, everybody said it.
In Gardena?
Yeah, it was 186th Street Elementary School. You know?
That's the name of the school? It sounds like a straight up gang.
Right, right.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I went to Roland 60s Academy.
That's when elementary school's like, don't wear these colors.
Yeah.
And then we never used it in a way where it was like, F you. Like, it's a bad word. It was it was always, oh, that's my friend.
Yeah, it's like in the homie way.
Yeah.
Well, that's true, because you don't see it used in the bad way as a kid, right?
Yeah, and then I was singing it with my friend, right?
Singing it?
There was a snack
Over
line.
and over again.
Yeah.
No, we were singing a song together. The lyrics.
Yeah.
And then he was black, you know, so I didn't see anything wrong with it. But I didn't know it was I didn't know it was about race. And then we get up to the up in front of the snack line. I'm singing the song with them, and then the snack lady was like, "Joseph," and I'm like, "What?
Oh, she's black?
No, she was Asian."
Oh.
And then she goes, "I can't believe what you're saying," and I'm like, "What? What?" And then I'm like, "What did I do? Did I say stupid? Like, what did I say?" Like, I was like so confused. And she goes, "Go back to the line and think about what you just did." And then so I was at the back of the line, like fucking shivering, and I'm like, all I want is a fucking Twinkie and a fucking orange juice, and I don't know what I did, right? So I get back, she goes, "Are you ready to apologize?"
Wow.
And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You know what you said," and she wouldn't repeat the word, right?
That's cool that the lunch lady cared to discipline you on that, though.
That's funny though. The idea of like him,
Explain it.
him and his black friend saying it, but she can't discipline the black.
That word is not for you, Joe.
But I didn't even know it was a bad word. And then so she tells me, like, "You know what that means?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And she goes, "That's a mean way that they used to say to slaves. So you shouldn't use that word," and all that. And my mind just went whoosh. I was like, what?
Yeah, you probably learned more from the lunch lady than from the teachers there, huh?
Oh yeah, dude,
Defo.
that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Took the
Yeah.
time to tell you that.
But dude, back then, like,
Could have got you killed.
you're
She
in
did-
elementary school, you're listening to Tupac, Biggie, you're listening to NWA, you're listening to Ice Cube.
You listen to Jackie Chan in Rush Hour.
My parents are immigrants, they don't speak English, so they didn't say you can't listen to this music.
Oh yeah.
Because hip hop to them, they knew that rock is like the devil's
Yeah,
music.
rock was the
He goes,
thing that was
"I
bad.
better
Yeah,
not
yeah,
hear
yeah.
you listen to fucking electric guitar." So I was like, okay, well, I listen
Oh,
to
Eric
hip-hop.
Clapton.
Yeah, I listen to hip hop. I can listen to hip hop. Fine. I'm playing hip hop all day.
Yeah.
They don't understand what the lyrics are.
Right.
And what? You're like second, third, fourth grade. You don't know what, you know. So that was my whole shock of like, oh shit, that's what it meant. Yeah. And I kept using it until high school. Yeah. Because all my friends did.
And then I use it. I used it yesterday, and I use it.
I was at the grocery store
4:30
yesterday.
in the afternoon.
Dang.
Until I had a bigger vocabulary to express friendship. And
Do you remember that like one time the pastor in high school had this one like sermon, and it was like, "What do you guys think is the worst cuss word of them all?" And everyone was like, "Shit, fuck," like it was like saying them.
They got permission.
Yeah, he's like, "No, the worst cuss word of all is goddamn." And we were like, "Really?"
That's weak.
It was like, because everything else is like, I guess he's saying that all other cuss words are just cultural constructs people make up linguistically, but then saying goddamn actually traces back to blaspheming against the Lord, so you're not going to go to heaven. Yeah. So you can say fuck as much as you want.
Yeah. You just can't say goddamn.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting, because then he was very like liberal on like explaining that, and we were all going through all the cuss words and he didn't care.
Just raising your hands.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to say God, like God's name in vain, right? So you're not supposed to be like, "Oh God."
Yeah,
like
you
that,
can't say
right?
it. You can't say, "Oh my God." Yeah.
You're saying it in a way that's negative. So then what they said you should do is when someone says that word, you go shh. So it turns into gosh.
Oh.
So it's like, "Oh God," you go shh, and it's gosh.
Weird.
My mother wouldn't let you do it. I could say a lot of things. I could say shut up, but that was pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh, shut up was a pretty bad one.
If I said goddamn, it was over. My mother wouldn't let it.
Yeah, goddamn's pretty.
Gosh darn.
I don't remember the context, but I remember the word.
Call someone a bitch.
No, is motherfucker.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here trying to
Kalyne L.
think
Jackson.
about, like, trying to think about the context. I think it was just something that I had heard, and then we just
It's kind of fucked up.
we just repeated. It's so bad. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't know. I know that it was motherfucker for some reason though.
That was your first cuss word.
That was my first motherfucker. Motherfucker. I think it was one of those situations where it was just like something stupid happened.
You stubbed your toe?
Yeah, something that's stupid. And I was just like, motherfucker. And there's like, Kalyne, don't say that. I was like, shit, what did I say?
When I used the word fuck for the first time, I didn't even know what it meant. I was just thought it was fucking hilarious that my uncle kept saying it. And so my uncle, like, who came to help us move, because we lived in Fairfax, Virginia, and like it was time to move to San Diego. And then my uncle's like, I'll help you guys move. So then they get a U-Haul, and then my uncle comes, and my mom, like, they take the van, but then I'm like the first-born son, so I get to go in the U-Haul with my uncle and my dad. And then in the U-Haul with my uncle and my dad, my Uncle Clayton's just going like, fucking goddamn piece of shit motherfucker and all shit.
Damn.
And I was like, this is so cool. Because like my dad's not like going like, oh, like all the shit that he does when I'm watching a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
He was treating me like I'm a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Now you could talk like the adults or
That is
listen
cool.
to the
but
adults.
I couldn't do it yet with around them. But I was absorbing the shit out of it in the wrongest way. But I was like, oh man, it's so cool that my dad's not stopping me from hearing this shit, because normally he did that. And I was like, and then I got with my sister, and I was like, hey Jen, I was like, hey, fuck this shit. We gotta move. We don't get to see our friends anymore. Fuck this shit. And then my sister like had the permission now to do it too, because I was doing it.
So you weren't cussing, but now you two siblings secretly started cussing.
She's like, yeah, fuck this shit.
How old were you guys? Like,
Dude, I'm like 9 years old. And she is like, probably, she's like 11. Yeah, and then, yeah, so we're both like giving each other permission. It's like cool with me and her, and we're very close. But like we used to have like a partition on our wall, like through like the electrical outlets, where I could hear her and she could hear me when the doors were closed, so we could talk to each other through the wall.
Oh, cool.
how romantic.
Hey Jen, fuck this shit. Show me those titties. But like, fuck this shit, right? So like, and so that kind of became like this like thing we had with each other, where like we were allowing each other to say swear words, but then we knew to clean it up when the folks were around.
You guys are each other's safe space.
Yeah. But
That was your like secret sibling
secret
pact.
handshake, like
Secret romance.
We've always had each other's back since then.
That's cool.
Yeah, but then she married a guy. This is not me.
I dread the thought of someone finding this as their first video, just having no context.
Right.
But they're like, he's a white guy. He probably fucks his sister. That makes sense.
Talking to the wall.
It's always been the bit.
That's that.